So we're going to start here on the opposite side of the campground at the camp store, which is accessible from both the campground and from the drive. And we wanted to start there so we could show the campground. And then we're going to come along here from the opposite side from where you would come into the main gate. So as we come into here, on the right is where you would come in from the main gate. And then we're going to be going into the campground here, starting with Section A. As we travel in towards the campground control station on the left-hand side, you'll see some sites there, and that is Section A, and we'll get to that first. As we come along here, as we get to the campground control, there's a drive that goes off to the right, and that goes to the guest parking, and we'll see a quick glimpse of that a little later on in the video. So we're coming up to campground control here on the left-hand side. Again, you'll see those sections, the sites in Section A, campground control station here, the drive to the visitors sections on our right, and we're going to go into Section A here, and we're going to take a look. So starting with Section A, the first campsite here is the campground host site. Does not appear to have a number that I could find, at least. There's a dumpster there as well. And we're going to start with Site 1, Site 2, Site 3. There's a water hookup there. Site 4, Site 5, here's Site 6, 7, here's Site 9, there's a pit toilet in the back there. Here's Site 18. We're on the outside of this loop. 19. 20. It's a handicap site. There's the drive to the camp store. Site 21. That's this camp store you can see there in the background. Site 23. 24. 26. 28. 30. 32. 35, 36, you see the campground control station there in the background, 38, 41, 42, and now we're going to turn around. We're going to do the interior loops of the same section. This is Section A, the front section. The rear section is a little bit trickier to get to. We'll get to look at that here in just a moment. Now we're going to come around to the interior sites of that same site. Here is Site 8. Section that is. 10. 11. 12, 14, there's a water fill, 15, 16, 17. Some empty spaces here. I believe there are some sites that have been abandoned. In fact, there's another one coming up here that I'm guessing at the number, but it's not on the map. So I believe they've abandoned a few sites here to make some green space, or maybe the electric isn't working. There's a water fill coming around the inside loop there. Here's site 27. (31). I think this is site 33, but it no longer exists. You see the electric box there. Here's site 34. Another water fill. There's site 39. 40. 42. 43. It's a handicap site. Now we're going to the back section of Section A, beginning with site 79. It's kind of tucked in the woods there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flip around and start with the sites on the very back row of this section. The one we just saw here is going to be off to our left. There's the new dump station you see in the background there. That's been added recently. That's one of 2 dump stations. So that makes it a little easier to get around. 80. 78. Here's site 77. 76. 74. 73. 72. 71. 70. 69. This is site 66. Here's 65. (64). That's a handicap site. 62. 61. 60. 57. 55. 53. 'There's a water fill. 51. 46. 47. 48. That's a handicap site. Now we're going to turn around and do the interior loop of that same section. We came in from the right as I'm turning this corner here. And the first thing we're going to come to is the shower house. Many of the shower houses in this park have been updated since the last video, certainly. They're only a few years old, actually. There's a dumpster there with the shower house. That's site 68. There's 67 right there in the corner. There's a water fill. And here's site 58. '56. '54. 52, there's the shower house in the background. And there's site 49. That one is one of those spare sites. It's on the system, or not on the system, and it's not available. Now we're going to start into section B, starting with site 106, which is a non-electric site. Section B is a pretty good size section, so we're going to go through a lot of different types of sites and so forth, and then we'll get to some of the other things that are attached to this later. Here's site 107. Again, it's a non-electric. And as we swing around here, you'll see the guest parking lot, which is accessed from that drive near the main gate. And I'll swing around to get another couple of sites on the other side as we go into the main section of section B. This is site 109. Again, this is a non-electric. And site 10, also non-electric. Those are kind of tucked away off the main drive as you come in to section B. It's just down from the campground control. So this is really what you come into if you do not turn into section A. And we're going to start here with site 112, non-electric. Site 113, non-electric. Site 114, non-electric. 115, non-electric. 116, non-electric. 117, non-electric. 118, it's a handicap site and it is non-electric. 119, again non-electric. And 120, non-electric. Now we're going to transition into the electric sites. A lot of one-ways in this one, so we had to do it in a certain order. Did the best we could as far as trying to keep it orderly, but it is tough to do with the one-ways. This drive here goes back to the saddle barn between the non-electric sites and the first electric site. And we're going to start here with site 121, 122, 123, 125, 127. There's a water fill. 129. 131, 133, 135, 137, 139. There's a water fill. 141, 143, 145, 147, 148, And there's a pit toilet at the end of this section, and then it goes on into section C, which we'll get to here in a little bit. Now we're going to transition on around. There's a set of dumpsters down there across from where that pit toilet was, at the end of section B, going into section C. We're still going around the outside. Site 243, 242, 241, 237, 235, 233, 231, 229, 228, 227, 226, 224, 219, 217, 215, 2 Now we're going to loop around and start again on the outside of each drive, dealing with the one-ways that kind of dictate how we have to do this one. Here's site 150. (152), there's a shower house. Again, that's a newer shower house. That's only a couple years old. It's a nice setup. Here is 210. That's a handicap site. Then we're going to come along and same direction, do another set of sites here. Site 157, 159, 161, I'm sorry, 163, 165, 1 looked like another site that might have been abandoned there. And here we go again. We're driving past these sites. We'll get them on the next round. Again, dealing with the one-way streets. First site here is 248. 234. 232. 230. 223. 222. 221. 'And we're coming up around again to do another loop. Starting with site 240, 239. We've driven past these a couple of times getting these other loops. It's a little difficult to do it with the one-ways in this particular section. There's the shower house. Again, that's just the other side of the shower house, and it is fairly new. Dumpster next to the shower house there. Site 218. Here's the campground host site. Site 214. Now we're going to start going out the other direction of the vehicle. We do the passenger side, the driver's side, particularly with the one-ways, to try to get as many as we can, as quickly as we can. Starting with site 212, that is a handicap site. (209) 207. 206. 205. 'Now coming around to 148. 146. These are pull-through sites. 144, a pull-through. 142, again a pull-through. These are two sites that have been put together to make a pull-through, actually. Here's site 140. 138. 136. You'll notice that each one has two electric boxes. It's because it was two sites originally. 134, which is a handicap site. 132. 130. 128, a handicap site. 126. And we're going to come around to do the next loop. Starting with site 187, 186, 185, 184, 183, 182, 181, 180, site is not shown on the map. 179, this looks like it's an extra site. It's not available on the reservation system. It's not actually listed on the map. now we're going into another section of Section B, starting with Site 170, 171. This is actually the other side of the sites that we just saw here. 172, 173, 174, 175, 176, 177, 178, now I somehow missed sites 189 through 202, but I did want to give you at least the pictures of the DNR list. Here's site 202. This is a non-electric. These pictures are pretty good. Site 200, non-electric. Site 194, non-electric. Site 204, non-electric. These are all in one small section. Site 203, non-electric. Site 201, this is a handicap site and is again all non-electric. Site 199, non-electric. Site 197, non-electric. Site 192, non-electric. Site 191, non-electric. Site 190, non-electric. Site 189, non-electric, and I do apologize for missing those sites. I did it in both videos. Okay, now we're looking at another section here. This is site 99. This is also non-electric. It's in another little spur near the section we just looked at here, off of site B. Here's 98, non-electric. Site 96, non-electric. Lots of green space with these sites, even though they're non-electric and they're kind of isolated off the one side. It's kind of a neat little area. There's a water fill. Okay, this next section here again is 95, non-electric. This is the same section, it's just the other side of it. Here's site 90, non-electric. Here's site 102, non-electric. 103, non-electric. 104, non-electric. 105, non-electric. And we're going to jump into another section here. Here's site 89. And it's non-electric and a handicap site. Here's 87, non-electric. $85, non-electric. 84, non-electric. 83, non-electric. 82, non-electric. 86, non-electric. There's a water fill. Now we're going into section C. It has the same issues as far as the one-ways go, so we're going to do this as best we can. We're going to start on the outside here with the first site, site 249, 251, site 253, 255, 257, 259. It's not this site's not listed on the map. It's one of those spare sites. 261, and this is the drive to the Horseman's camp. We'll cover that here in just a moment. Still going around the outside. And here we go with site 306. 304, 302, 300, 299, 298, 'Here's site 291, 290, 288, 284, 283, 282, 281. This is one of those spare sites. It's not on the map and not available on the reservation system. 277, 275, 273, 271, 'And there's a set of dumpsters up at the front, at the entrance. Now we're going to stay on that same side and do the next section. Starting with 311, site 313, site 315, the water fill and a dumpster, and the shower house. Again, it's a newer shower house, a couple years old. Site 317, site 318, site 319, Another water fill, site 321, 323, 325, 327, 329, again that site's not listed on the map, 330, 'And at 329, there's a water fill. The 329 looks like it was an abandoned site. And now we're going to do the loop again on the other side. Beginning with site 252. Two 54, 255, 258, 260, 262, 'Come around and get on the other side of this drive. Here is site 308. (307), (305), 303. It's a campground host site. Here's the other side of the shower house. Site 296, Site 295, Site 292, Site 289, Site 287, Site 280, Site 278, 276, 274, 272, there's a water fill. And coming into the next loop, Site 309, 310, 312, 314, 322, 324, 326, 328, 'and again, grabbing another loop on that other side, site 263, 266, 268, 269, 270, 'Now we're going into the Horseman's Campground. We're going to round the outside of this one first, starting with site H48. Here's H46. H45. Only the sites up towards the front of this particular campground have electricity. We'll mention the ones that don't as we go along. Here's H43. Again, we're on the outside. Have a manure collection site. And then H42. H40. H38, this is a non-electric. H36, non-electric. A manure collection site there and a pit toilet. Moving along, getting the outside again, H33, it's a non-electric site. H23, non-electric. There's a manure collection site and a dumpster. Here's site H19, non-electric. H17, non-electric. H15, non-electric. H13, non-electric. There's another manure collection site. H11, non-electric. H9, non-electric. H7, non-electric. H5, non-electric. H3, non-electric. H1 non-electric, the dumpster, and the pit toilet. It's kind of the trail back in the background you can see there. Now we're going to turn around and do the interior loop part of this loop. This is H2. H44, H41, H39 non-electric, H37 non-electric, H35 non-electric, H34 non-electric, H31 non-electric, H22 non-electric, H20 non-electric, H18 non-electric, and a pit toilet on the back side of the interior there. Here's H14 non-electric, H10 non-electric, H8 non-electric, H6 non-electric, H25 non-electric, there's a playground there in the middle. Manure collection site. H4. And that brings us back to the front of the Horseman's camp. Now we're going to cover the youth tent area. This area has only 5 sites. There's a pit toilet there as you come into it. And then the first site that we're going to see here is site number 2. There are actually 3 sites we're looking at here. Site is number 2 is the one that's closest to us. Site 3 is in the middle, and then site 4 is on the other side. And we'll see the other side of that here in just a moment. They're kind of triangle shaped sites against this woods that we're coming into now. This is all a non-electric area. This is Site 1, the largest of the 5 sites, and it stretches all the way around the end of one of the loop drives here. And there is a pit toilet that we'll see here in a moment on the outside of the loop, adjacent to Site 1 here. And there's water. And again, this is the other side. This is Site 4, which is the other side of where we started from Site 2. And at the very end of this loop drive is Site 3. So as you're looking at this, you're looking at 3 different sites that are just against each other in that open field. And now we're going to turn around and we're going to hit the exterior loop real quick. There's the pit toilet we saw when we were coming in. I believe that's just an access road. And then coming up here is site number 5. It's the smallest of the 5 sites, and it is on the outside of the drive. And then on the back side, there is a pit toilet. And that concludes our tour. Thanks for watching.